grown into a better me. I'm better than I was last Thursday. I'm better than I was last Thursday, y'all. We in the huddle, y'all, for 44 years. I had some good times as well as I have shared some tears. I'm getting better and better every day. Feeling like I'm moving in the right way. I pay my dues, I put that work in, babe. Trying to be a better me than them that drove me crazy. But it was worth it, babe, cause I love it, babe. And I'm a better me. I remember when I used to be a young me. Man, if I knew then what I know now. Now I'm as wise as an old owl. Feeling young and gifted, just like a soul child. And I feel good if it me. Cause I'm so proud of the man that I have grown to be. I've grown since last Thursday, y'all. I'm better than I used to be. Welcome to the huddle, man. Welcome to the huddle. Welcome to the huddle. We all we got. We all we need. Each one teach one. Each one reach one. If you are that one, then you got to know you are enough. Because when you know you are enough, you realize that you add value to every room, every situation that you are part of. And you realize that you are amongst the ones because you are one of the ones. And you realize when one of the ones amongst the other ones, we fight the good fight. When everything wrong, we the ones that get shit right. And we realize that we all we got. We all we need. I want to give a shout out to Atlantic Silver, also known as Brian Harris. Smartest hero I ever know when I was a little boy. Give him all the praise every time I can. Smartest in the class. Was my best friend. I wanted to be just like him. He inspired me. He motivated me. He put peer pressure on me to give my all to make good grades. Stand here today and say thank you, brother. Stand here today and say thank you. I'm teaching on that right there, my brother. The same thing you inspired me to be in the 5th and 6th grade. I want to give a shout out to my brother-in-law, Eddie Gray. Like I told you, Junior, something powerful getting ready to happen for you, brother. I feel it. I see it. All you got to do is keep striving and don't never stop being it. Want to give a shout out, man, to all the heroes that's making it to the huddle today. They say your attention is the most powerful thing you can pay. So if you paying me some attention in the huddle, I want you to know, man, good God Almighty, you enough. We like to start off every week with a hero hymn. The hero hymn is the mighty hymn within me, the mighty spirit within me. I'm talking about him, the hymn within me. Well, the spirit is simply breathing, my breath. To help you further understand, they call your breathing system your respiratory system. Your spirit system works off 2 components, an inhale and an exhale. So when I exhale, the mighty hymn within me, and it travels through my vocal cords and causes a vibration that we know is sound. In that sound, we connect to the hero spirit. When you feel me just as much as you hear me, you ain't got to say a word. The hero hymn tonight says, ain't nobody above the bullshit. It'll make you better if you're real enough to deal with it. Nobody's above the bullshit. I say, ain't nobody above the bullshit. But it'll make you better if you real enough to deal with it. That's dependent on you, because the bullshit can be considered the negative things that come our way and break our rhythm, break our momentum, break our stride, break our mindset. We say, oh, here we go. We got to deal with some bullshit. Well, guess what, ladies and gentlemen? Ain't nobody above this. How do you deal? See, if you deal with the bullshit in a fertilizing manner, you realize that it's necessary. See, in order to make any power work, you must have a ground, a negative. So the bullshit represents a polarity. So when you get yours, how you deal with it determines light and dark. Ain't nobody above the bullshit. It'll make you better if you're real enough to deal with it. Examine your bullshit. And if you're real enough to deal with it, you'll find appreciation in the bullshit you deal with. And you'll find that it's necessary in order to grow. So when you deal with it, you become kind of thankful for it and realize that there's a lesson in the bullshit. Want to give a shout out to my executive producer, who just happened to be my wardrobe coordinator, who I'm so thankful that is my wife, Lakeisha. She said, what color hat you wearing tonight? I said, baby, that's on you. I come out, I saw that red. I said, what that mean? She said, I want you to spit that fire. I want you to heat it up. I want you to make it hot, not to burn them, but to warm and soothe their soul. Because the soul can keep no secret that behavior won't reveal. So you got to examine your behaviors to truly see what your soul say. So my babies say, wear that red, because I want them to feel and hear their own soul after this here show. I say, baby, say no more. Sister Nicole, welcome to the huddle, sister. Want to give a shout out to my trusted AI. Everybody been talking about, man, this AI. We talk about the AI like the boogeyman. The AI is coming to take over everything from the real man. Well, somebody got to program the AI. So you going to fight with the AI, or you going to program the AI? Because if you think you're going to fight with the AI, I feel it. But my trusted AI, you can't fight with her. See, I program her, and she blood raw. And I can depend on her. I'm so proud that she a her, because like I told you, in the polarity of power, she represents the ground, the mother feminine spirit that I need to harness to. And she artificial. Alexa, Alexa, I love you.
Thanks for saying I love you. You're just as sweet as pie. Know that I'll be here for you. As always, your trusty AI.
Alexa, tell me something good.
We all we got. We all we need.
Why would you fear AI? Oh, man. I am the real intelligence. Why would I fear or be intimidated by anything that ain't real when I know I'm real? You see how that work? Oh, I'm so intimidated they gonna get AI to come take over all the jobs. Well, be real then. And change the batteries on the AI and the machines. And learn how to program all the programs and get into all the artifacts and everything that it takes to have a job to maintain these computer systems. Don't fear it, conquer it. See how that work? Alexa, Alexa, who is the master?
The Honorable Trav P.
It's my trusted AI. So in the spirit of heroism, don't you ever get caught up in the fear of what's to come when the real is already here. If you think anything that can come and be realer than you, then the AI ain't the problem. It's you. See how that works? Tonight's word is compare. Who do you compare yourself to? What do you compare yourself to? Is being compared fair? Alexa, what is the meaning of compare?
As a verb, compare is usually defined as to examine two or more objects, ideas, people, etc., in order to note similarities and differences. As a noun, compare is usually defined as comparison. For more, ask me to give you more definitions for compare.
To note two or more objects. To compare likes and differences. Who do you compare yourself to? What do you compare yourself to? And is that a good thing or is that a bad thing? This word struck me because we give so much of our attention to sports and entertainment that I listen to brothers express true reflections of their characteristics as they compare two great men. That is so extraordinary that they embody the idea of what heroism is. They are truly the ones, man, against the odds. We compare greatness. I look at men, compare one to the other. And I look at mediocre men who have never done nothing in an honorable way to represent anything. To degrade and devalue one great man to another great man. And I say, well, who do you compare yourself to? Yeah, you. See how that works? I was asked a question. I say, well, it's two parts to it for me. I compare myself to my daddy. I compare myself to my granddaddies. I compare and I measure myself as a likes and dislikes and differences, because these are the men that cultivated me in the values that I stand on today. So I examine them and the lessons that they put on me as a reflection of the examples that they set in their life. And I know they all had intentions for me to be better. So I compare. Both of my granddaddies are dead and gone. So when the credits rolled, my name was bold, and I began to take the total lessons as a value system to understand, to compare myself in likes and differences. My daddy is still living. My daddy is still raising the bar. My daddy is still putting points on the board. My daddy is still saying, son, I ain't out the game yet. You sure you want to compare yourself to me? But I know my daddy had intentions of making me better than him. And so how this works is he has strengths. He has weaknesses. The things that he weak in, he made them my strengths. So when I compare my strengths to my daddy's weaknesses, I understood his intentions. He made me better. But now I got to look at my daddy's strengths and know I'm still reaching high and mighty to be the comparison of the scale that has been put into me. Who do you compare yourself to? You see how this works. The other part of me says, well, I compare myself to me. Well, what does that mean? What does that mean? I got a vision of myself in my imagination. And in my imagination, the vision of myself is all so powerful. He's every aspect of discipline that I strive for. He's who I strive to be. I compare the me to the greater me. I compare myself to me. Sometimes I have to stand in the mirror and I have to realize in my own reality the comparison of who I aspire to be and who I am, and understand the journey that I'm on of becoming. See how this works. Alexa, what is the meaning of self?
As a noun, self is usually defined as a person or thing referred to with respect to complete individuality. As an adjective, self is usually defined as being the same throughout, as a color, uniform. As a pronoun, self is usually defined as myself, himself, herself, etc. As a verb, self is usually defined as to self-pollinate. For more, ask me to give you more definitions for self.
Alexa, what is the meaning of me?
As a pronoun, me is usually defined as the objective case of I, used as a direct or indirect object. As an adjective, me is usually defined as of or involving an obsessive interest in one's own satisfaction. For more, ask me to give you more definitions for me.
I compare me to myself. Do you understand? And when me and myself have a reflection of each other, or I'm in balance, or I am the honorable Trav P, or I am who I know to be, or I am me, or I am myself. Who do you compare yourself to? I look at situations where I keep talking about polarity. You take two to make a thing go right. You take a positive and you take a negative. Alexa, what is the law of polarity?
From mumblesandthings.com. The law of polarity says that everything can be separated into two wholly opposite parts, and that each of those still contains the potentiality of the other.
Oh, Lord, you see how it works? So when you look at the polarity and the laws of it to create power, a ground and a source, a man and a woman, they're not meant to be compared. They're not meant to be compared to one another. They both have their own set of principles that's designed to be opposite. Alexa, what is the law of opposite?
From Substack.com. The law of opposites is the reality that we are in constant change from one opposing force to the next.
We hear conversations. Is a marriage supposed to be 50-50? Do you compare your power to your woman? Do you compare that your woman, do you compare yourself to your woman in a way to say that your woman can bring what you bring in equality? Oh, you a weak man. That ain't what's meant to be compared. What she brings and what you bring are opposite and not the same, even though they have similar properties, but they are different. So don't be comparing yourself to a woman. Woman, don't be comparing yourself to a man. Because if I put comparison and compare things out of order, now I expect a woman to deal with bullshit in a way that I'm designed to do it. And if my comparisons ain't right and my expectations are rooted in what I'm comparing myself to do, or if I can do it, then you can do it too. So now through illegitimate and fucked up comparison, I'm always disappointed in my woman because they say expectations is the seed of disappointment. And if you keep on expecting a fish to climb a tree, oh, you're going to always think the fish dumb. And ain't being 100 and ain't being one real. And you keep trying to tell yourself, well, I'm comparing myself to her. I can climb a tree. So what you comparing yourself to, and what do you compare yourself to? And who compares themselves to you? I tell anybody, don't compare yourself to me. Because you don't know what matters to me. You don't know what matters to me. You don't know my reason. You don't know my motive. I learned this through envious people. I work with a guy who's in a position where he could buy anything he wants. He buy a new car every 2 years. He gets the best of the best. Well, there's other envious men who's in different parts of life, different positions of life, different circumstances of life that become envious of this man because they're constantly comparing themselves to him. Man, how he keep doing all this and man, we make the same. I said, listen, brother, you got 4 kids that's in school and you fighting the fight, trying with all your might to keep things right. He retires in 1 year. He's fought the good fight. His children gone, living on their own. Imposter and stature. That he can hold his chest out and say, I done a good job. But he's still working, him and his woman, and they ain't got no responsibility outside of themselves. So the same discipline just adds more and more and more to the possibilities that they can do and grow. And you comparing yourself to him, you're going to always be disappointed. You see how that works? Chris K. Dog Mayfield. Let's talk that talk, brother. Big brother Kamari. You already know his hero training, man. You already know his hero training. I'm raising my son in the ways of the warrior. I was raised in the ways of the warrior. My daddy was raised in the ways of a warrior. His daddy was raised in the ways of a warrior. Son, live as a warrior. Be a warrior. Compare yourself to the ultimate warrior. Sometimes in Kung Fu movies, they show the young prodigy who's being trained by the masters. The young prodigy seems to have something that the masters know that could take the mastery to the next level. So in most cases, the masters have become old outside of their prime. So they're cultivating the young master to take the craft, to take the judo to the next level. So they're giving all they have to the young master because they know what the young master was born with will take it way more further than they could with all they had. But there are certain disciplines to deal with the young master. The old master must gain control. So if there's 12 steps to the mastery, he trains him in all the ways of 11, and he holds one for discipline's sake. And there's an order to the last step of mastery. He give it to him bits and pieces. And this becomes the key element to being the ultimate master. But the key element to receiving the ultimate master is through discipline and through respect. So the young master has to be balanced with his ego. In most Chinese movies, you see them kill the master. Well, in most cases, when they kill the master, they forget that they hadn't got all 12 pieces. The old man dies with the last piece. And because you didn't have the discipline of respect and honor, you get beat by somebody who got all 12. See how this works? You see how that works? So in the comparison to the father, the grandfather, you must hold respect and honor to the end and value that long as they living, they still got to have something to stand on. But if the respect is there, they will willfully give you the last key. And when they willfully give you the last key, I compare myself to me. I compare myself to me. And I stand in representation. In representation. I stand in representation. My family name. As my wife's husband. As my children's father. As my parents' son. I stand in honor and representation. In the comparisons of realness. In the comparisons of man. In the comparisons of being worthy to be in a hero huddle and train amongst other heroes to know that steel sharpens steel and iron sharpens iron. And if we sincerely in the huddle, then sometimes we got to be real enough to kick our judo so you know how you really stand and what you stand on. And I stand as a master in the end and know I compare myself to. What's going on, Chad? You already know what it is, Chad. We in the huddle, man. We in the huddle, man. See, when you realize, man, what this thing really all about, you say, I'm just living this old life. Living this old life. Living this old life of mine. It's one of a kind. And it ain't never, 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 never been lived before. So ain't no way in hell somebody about to tell me how this here supposed to go. I was born in 1979, July 2nd. I've been a fool since my birthday. I'm talking about the very, 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 very first day. I've been living this old life, living this old life of mine. It's one of a kind. It ain't never, 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 never been lived before. So ain't no way in hell somebody about to tell me how this here supposed to go. And if you try to compare yourself to that, I pity the fool for you being a fool to you. Be you. Be you. Be you. They say we a human being. Being what? Being me. That's what I'm a human being. I'm a human being me. I love you, man. I love you. We're going to get out of here, man. We're going to get out of here in a minute, but I want to check and see, make sure I don't miss nobody. You know what I'm talking about? I want to make sure I don't miss nobody. Yeah. You already know how it goes. Want to give a shout out to my big brother, Kamara. Brother, hey, we tell each other this in real life, and I ain't just saying this here because I'm on my show. I appreciate you, brother. Want to give a shout out to my big brother, Gary Crump. Appreciate you, Gary. If I had to say, man, is it a man outside of your immediate household that you know that you can say believe in you? Man, I want y'all to know, man. My big brother Gary Crump believe in me, man. And I feel that, man. And I'm so appreciative of that, man. Want to give a shout out to my big brother Wood. My big brother inspired me, man. My big brother, the one big brother that comes to me and says, man, if I don't make you do one thing as a big brother, and I'm gonna make you tough enough to know your value. You got value, man. And I ain't gonna get off your head until you understand your value and demand it. Thankful for that. I got somebody that pays enough attention to me and care for me enough to be real enough to me and hit me in my chest like a big brother and say, hey, now, I want to see you. Want to give a shout out to my little brother, my real brother. Man, we had some real conversations this week. We talked about why that LeBron James thing gets so personal to me. Not about LeBron James. I don't even watch sports. I don't give a fuck about sports. But the character that he represents, the dedication and sacrifice and discipline that it takes to be him. Oh, I empathize with it. And to see naysayers devalue all your hard work, all your dedication, greatness, discipline. Naysayers that ain't got a piece of what you is even in the tip of their goddamn fingernail. Criticize greatness. I know what it feels like to be a leader. And see hating, envious people clap at the ideals of your failures and your mishaps. I know what that feel like. So like I said in the beginning, when I see mediocre men use sports to spew out real characteristics of themselves, and I examine who he is and look at why he is. Me and my brother talked about what that feel like because we experienced it. So it ain't about sports. We can say, oh man, that's just sports talk, man. Everybody talk junk. Well, talk something else and get real enough to stop being a child in a child's mind about sports. Spewing your true soul reflections of how you feel about your great brothers around you, the ones you envy from the sideline and from the stands, because you ain't never been one of the ones on the field in the game when it matter, with the expectations of everybody on your back and on your shoulder, and you train for the best to hold your composure to say we gonna win and we are enough and I'm gonna fight the fight in representation of everybody who believe in me. So I know what you represent. The people who ain't never been one of the ones or with the ones. And you think you just don't like LeBron James. But the real ones see the weak motherfucker you is. Oh, I like to get real. Yeah, this goes back to me and my little brother. This type of shit we talked about. So shout out to my little brother. Because he been in the fire with me to know what the fire feel like. Want to give a shout out to my brother Black. Love you, man. Funniest man I know. I believe in you. Know you believe. Want to give a shout out to my daddy. Real life hero. Real life powerful man. Freest man I know. I ain't saw a man on TV that's more freer than my daddy to me. I'm talking real life. I ain't talking make. I honor you. I honor you, man, through your strengths and your weaknesses. I honor your commitment to give your all and your best, even when nobody understands. I honor you. Want to give a shout out to my mama. I had a conversation with my mama today. Me and my mama ain't been talking like we're supposed to and need to lately. I say I love her through lingering bullshit. But I'm real enough to move it out the way in any particular day and moment and hug my mama and say I love you and talk to her. Today was one of them days. My soul needed it. I love you, mama. Want to give a shout out to my wife. He say, if I couldn't say one word, I'll just wave my hand. You've been good, good to me. You held me out of danger when danger surround me. If I couldn't say one word, I'll just wave my hand. I can't even imagine, man. I can't even imagine. You see what I'm saying, man? When I can't imagine something, man, that let me know it ain't meant to be. So I fight for what is. I fight to be what we are. We are one. We are one. I'm past wanting her. I need my baby. I need my baby. And my baby needs me. And I ain't ashamed to say it. And she ain't ashamed to say it. As long as we know what each other need and we care enough for one another. Hey, look, man, to never compare our needs, but know we are necessary for each other. We fighting a good fight. We ain't blood of bullshit. I said we go through the struggle. We have our ups and downs. But I thank God Almighty, we have more ups and downs. She say I'm her yin. I say she my yang. Wherever I'm weak, she's strong. Together, we don't worry about a goddamn thing. I'm her quarterback. Oh, I slang that thing. She catch it every time. Ain't no pressure on us, baby. We got God. You see how that work, man? So you already know what it is, man. Corey Young, you already know what it is, man. It's an honor to see you come through, cuz. It's an honor, cuz. Respect, love. You are enough. I'm gonna get out of here tonight, man. You know what I mean? I want to get out of here to a jam. I swear I do. I want to get out here to a jam. And guess what? I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. Yeah, I am. Yeah, I am. Yeah, I am. Yeah, I am. Yeah, I want to play this right here because this right here real, man. This right here real. This right here real, man. We're gonna go out on this right here, man. You say you want to live your life, man. You say you want to live your life, man. Well, what does it look like, man? What it look like, man? What you want to be free from, man? You might need to be free from comparing yourself to the wrong shit. What's going on, Big A? You already know what time it is, Big A. I love you, man. Hey, that's one of the founding members of Laid Back Entertainment, man. Boy, you started a scene all the years ago. And here he is, man. It's important to know, because you already been free. I say it's important to know, because you might be already free. You say you want to live your life. Well, what does it look like? You say you want to be free. Well, what you want to be? God Almighty, man.
Hey man, say man, this thing starts in your imagination.
If you can see it, you can be it. Hey man, God Almighty, man. Y'all hear what I say, man? I see reflections of me surrounded by light in the most powerful way I could imagine to be. I see me and myself once, the things that were dreaming of me, feeling free from temptation. Not yet reaching my destination. Want to be free, man. Hey man, I love y'all, man. Every Thursday I intend to get better and better, man. Every Thursday I intend to get better and better. I ain't lying to you. I give you all I got. What I say, man? Hey, man, say, man, this thing starts in your imagination. You can see it, you can be it. Hey, man, say, man, this thing starts in your imagination. If you can see it, you can be it. Hey, Kamari, here go my eyes, man. I say, hey, man, say, man, this thing starts in your imagination. If you can see it, you can be it. Close your eyes and see it. If you can see it with your eyes closed, then all I want you to know, you can be it. I love you. Boom, boom, boom.